This week's episode, we talk about the latest version of Blithe Spirit to hit the screens.
Yeah, it's Retina Cube week. What else?
WandaVision finished up.
Yeah, and some of the pop culture news. So, there's a new version of the Blithe Spirit by, I can't remember the author.
Was it Noel Coward?
Yes.
It's a really unfortunate last name.
Okay. His play. Mm-hmm. He wrote a play in 41, if I'm not wrong. Mm-hmm. And then in 45, they already made a movie.
Mm-hmm. Starring Rex Harrison.
Yes.
And other people whose names I forget.
Girls. Because you're gonna learn that there's girls in the movie. One really hot and one really cold.
Oh, you're funny.
Anyways.
You're funny.
They just came out with a new version. Mm-hmm. And there's several versions. There's one in the 60s. Mm-hmm. The actual author is part of it. He's the main character on the one in the 60s. If I'm not wrong, it's 60s, not 50s. Anyways, there's one in the 80s. There's TV versions. Mm-hmm. Anyways, there's a brand new version with what's his bucket?
Dan Stevens.
And
Isla Fisher.
And Leslie Mann.
And Judi Dench.
Wow, yeah. That's a great cast.
It is a great cast.
Yeah.
That's like mostly why I wanted to see it when it popped up on our... we were looking for movies to watch, and I didn't know anything about the story, but the cast sold me on it.
So, we watched the original version from 1945, and we watched the new version. So, we doing a Retina Cube where we review the remake or reboot and the original one. Yeah. So let's start with the original one. And even though it's a really old movie and it's just rebooted, remake it, spoiler alert.
Yes. Yeah, this movie's been out, I guess it's over, 80 years? Or almost 80 years now? Yeah, it's an old story. Anyway, the original film... Didn't you say it won an Oscar for special effects?
Oh, yes, that's true.
Yeah, so...
Visual effects.
Yeah,
I think that's what they call it.
Yeah.
Maybe they still call it that. I don't know.
I don't remember. Either way. So, anyway, the basic premise is that there's this guy whose name escapes me, of course. He's an author, and he's working on a mystery novel, and he wants to feature like a phony psychic type character, so he invites this woman to come to a little evening party with his friends to hold a seance. And during the seance, she's like, oh, someone wants to talk to you, and he's like, oh, I can't think of who it would be. Turns out it was his dead wife, and the psychic pulled off a full-on like conjuring whatever. So the ghost of this guy's dead wife is now tormenting him and his living wife, and hijinks ensue. That's a very bad summary, but that's what
okay, some things about the original, and then we go to the difference between the original and the new one. The original is just for clarification information, just to situate us. The movie was 45, and the first movie in Technicolor was technically partially was The Wizard of Oz, but fully was Gone with the Wind, and that was 1939. So there's only 6 years after full color movies. This one is full color. And the visual effects, the special effects, we do with a ghost. So we see, like things flying and stuff like that, which is not news, nothing new. Méliès did that 50 years before that. If you saw Hugo, you can glimpse a little bit on the life of Georges Méliès. Anyways. So some technical aspects. There's some makeup things like for the dead
The dead wife's name is Elvira. So we have
Yes.
Elvira, who's the dead wife. Charles is the husband. Ruth is his current wife.
So for the ghost characters, they have this like greenish
Yeah.
makeup, you know, like which I don't know. Maybe back then made sense. Maybe it was. I think it was a bit unnecessary. You know.
Yeah. It looked sometimes like they used a light as well.
Yeah.
Like she had a sort of greenish light cast on her.
Yeah. But I mean, the fact that she's dead, you know, and he knows that, and he's the only one that can see her. I mean, that's enough to to give away that okay, she's a ghost. You know, you don't need to paint her in green, but they did. Anyways,
there's a cool moment where Ruth is running up so Elvira's sitting on the stairs, and Ruth goes running up the stairs and just walks right through her, because of course Ruth can't see her. That's the source of a lot of the comedy, that Charles is the only one who can see this ghost. But Ruth walks right through her, which and it's pretty slick how they pulled it off, given that this all had to be like practical and done with like I don't know how they would do that with the film. But I don't know. There were some clever effects given the available technology.
Yeah.
At the time.
Okay, something else. It's a play, so it's based on a play. So the settings are very limited, mostly limited to his house.
They do a few times like drive into town. And so I'm wondering if they did this in the play or if this was just done for the screen, where like for some reason Charles doesn't drive, so the ghost is driving, and so everyone sees this car driving by with no one driving it.
Oh yeah,
you know?
the car thing is always funny.
Yeah. But yeah, it just occurred to me, I don't know if they did that in the play or if that was something they did just for the screen.
It's definitely they definitely kept for the new one. But before we get to the new one, anything else about the old one?
Just the woman who played the psychic I thought was absolutely brilliant. I haven't seen her or heard her or anything else, but she's just eccentric and funny. And,
she's funny.
Yeah, I think that's it. Clever effects and comedy and that's about it. It was funny, and I think it stands the test of time pretty well too.
Yeah.
Not all old movies do, but this one I thought was worth watching.
So comes 2020, and they decided to remake. I mean, I assume they made it in 2020, maybe they made it before. Yeah. But it was just recently released. On this one, it's the same. Sorry, it's the same, but it's quite different.
Yeah, I thought they did a good job of updating it, but they stuck pretty close to the original. A lot of dialogue is word for word the same. A lot of scenes are pretty close. So Dan Stevens plays Charles, the husband, and now he's still a novelist, but now he's stuck on adapting one of his novels into a screenplay.
And is at least the second movie we watched that he is an author. The other one was The Man Who Invented Christmas.
Oh yeah.
He was Charles Dickens. But he was also on.
He's also on Eurovision.
Eurovision.
Yeah.
It's this Russian, shirtless.
Yes, the singer who is definitely not gay, because there are no gays in Russia. Not at all. Oh, what a great film. Anyway, so in this one he's this sort of hapless novelist trying to adapt his novel into a screenplay. Yeah. And he's just like major writer's block. Isla Fisher plays Ruth, his wife. Her father is the producer of the film, who's trying to so she's kind of in the middle trying to get her husband to do the screenplay for her dad, and also running a household. And there's a lot of fun like costuming and set design, because they have a very, very trendy, very opulent 1940s home. So I enjoyed that aspect of it too.
Yeah. So if anything on this one, it's a comedy, and both are comedies. And this one is more like what am I gonna do? You know, so he has
Yeah.
writer's blocks. It's more like, I don't know if emotional is the word, but it's more like
There's like more pressure.
exaggerated
Yeah.
cat. And
They add a lot to the drama of the psychic too. So in the original,
Yes.
the psychic is just this kind of like kooky woman, who is hilarious. But in this one, it's Judi Dench, and they add at the very beginning. We see that she's got this whole stage show, and but something goes wrong with her effects during the stage show, and so she's kind of exposed as a fraud. And but she's also got this personal tragedy where she's trying to contact, like she becomes a psychic and everything because she's trying to contact her husband who died in a war, like in the 1890s or something. So she has this whole backstory. That also, like our novelist with writer's block, is kind of adds to the drama, the emotion, the chaos of the film.
Yes, and the movie. This one is he's an author, he's a writer, but it's really close to the film industry. They go to the studios. We see the back of Hitchcock's.
They actually go to, it's Pinewood Studios, right?
They went to Pinewood Studios, so it's really close. He's adapting a book that which is kind of interesting considering that the first one was about a book and this one is about a movie. You know, so if you're gonna move a little bit things there, but the main plot is the same. There's this ghost, and fortunately, there's no gray paint over Leslie Mann. Who's American. The character is American on this one, and on the other one,
they're all English.
All English. And this one, everybody's English, but this girl he's American. What's he called? American love, American girl. Yeah, something like that.
His muse.
Yeah, and it's funny. It's more, I don't know, maybe it's different times and different way we make movies or we appreciate movies, but I feel this one more alive, you know. I feel that you know, the other one is like very formal, and this one is, you know, more cuckoo, more
Anyway, so in the original, they kind of just brush everything off, like, oh well, it's fine, I'll just have a bunch of alcohol and whatever. But in the new one, they take it a lot more seriously. They show a lot more emotion. Yeah. And I think that is just like a old versus new thing, or like a modern thing.
Oh yeah.
We deal with our emotions now a lot better, I think. So let's see. So, a lot of the stunts, a lot of the comedy is the same. We have the scene with, like you mentioned, the car, where the ghost is driving the car. This kind of poltergeist stuff happening around the house. So yeah, a lot of that stays the same. Just sort of in an updated version.
Yeah. And in the end, he's responding everything. The second wife dies, and then he eventually dies, and they go on becoming ghosts altogether.
Yeah. One major difference in the second one, his first wife's role is elevated. So it turns out she's not just his first wife, she was also his muse. And not just his muse, but really the one who wrote all of his successful books. Oh, she was a ghost writer, so it has this whole world she's a ghost writer. So funny. But then at the very end, it turns out that they weren't even her ideas. She stole all the ideas for his books from a Mexican novelist. And so it's just like disaster after disaster, and it ends with by the end of it, they're all terrible. And it kind of reminded me of the series finale of Seinfeld, where by the end of it, these are all horrible people, and in Seinfeld they end up in jail together, in this one they end up dead together. And it's perfect and very funny. Yeah.
Okay, so that's it. What's it called? Blithe Spirit.
Blithe Spirit.
the new one is out in the theaters for everyone to see, and the old one, or the original one, is available on HBO Max.
Okay, so go watch them, enjoy them, and don't conjure up dead people.
Yeah.
Speaking of conjuring up dead people and how that's a bad idea.
Yeah, what are we talking about?
WandaVision.
Oh, that's
obviously.
right. That was that. Oh, that's right. That Vision. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So WandaVision ended this week, and as everybody was waiting for the big surprise, the big cameo, there was no big.
There
surprise.
were zero big cameos.
No big cameos. Actually, on an interview, Bettany said. And people thought he was joking that the big cameo in the last episode would be himself. And it was.
Yeah, I don't think that counts though, guys. It's not a cameo.
Yeah. Anyways.
That's not to say it was bad. I really enjoyed the finale. I thought they did a good job wrapping it all up, but a lot of stuff was teased that never came to be.
Yeah, even the end was a big tease. It was fun. It was an interesting, fun, short story. I mean, if you're being short, it was actually 8 episodes of almost 1 hour each, so it's not short at all. But
well, a lot of those hours were very long end credits.
That's right, and some
little post
fillers. You know, it's like those whole
the sitcom fillers.
Sitcoms, like it's like Cloak and Dagger. No, Smoke and Mirrors. But it was fun. There was nothing to like. There was this whole thing saying that this show is gonna define what's gonna be the MCU next. They're gonna pull forward the whole thing. There was nothing like that really. They created new characters, but every show does, every movie does, and sometimes that means a lot, sometimes it doesn't. So they create a new superhero on this one, which doesn't mean much in the universe of superheroes. She might be get lost in the multitude of heroes and not be that important. So it was.
I hope she does it though.
Huh?
I said I hope she does.
I hope she does it, but
I'd like to see more
at this point, it's a beginning, middle, and end. And they might keep her to transition to some other thing like they did to what was Rosario Dawson on the Netflix shows.
Oh,
she was always in
she was like the common
show.
Thread between all the
she could be something that could link to I don't know, Fantastic Four movie.
Sure,
Agents of S.W.O.R.D. show, more S.H.I.E.L.D. stuff, there's,
Sure.
But, like, the MCU universe as a big narrative universe, the only thing that I see that it's connected to the future in, like, in a grandeur way would be the next Doctor Strange movie is going to be Doctor Strange, the Multitude of Madness? No, Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
Or Madness of the Multiverse. And Wanda was going to be in the movie. That was announced like a while ago.
Yeah.
And
but that last scene, I don't remember which last scene it was because there were 2 end credits, but where she's at the cabin in the woods in the mountains, and then we see there's like 2 versions of herself. She's like making tea and just all quaint and sad, but then we also see her as the Scarlet Witch, like reading through that book and everything, and that ending kind of made this whole series seem almost like an origin for Scarlet Witch.
Oh yeah, and it was
within the MCU that like we've had Wanda Maximoff before, but now she's like a fully realized Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, not only fully realized, but changed. The character was changed in this one because she got her powers from the stone, and it's funny because they changed, but they tried to use the.
It got very complicated.
Yeah. They gave her a new origin, but then they gave. But then they try to keep it's a mess.
Yeah.
Anyways, so it is an origin story or a new origin story. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was kind of the role of Agatha, I guess, to to facilitate that transition from Wanda Maximoff, who is like Mind Stone or mutant or whatever they decided to do or didn't decide to do, and transition her to actually being a witch with like spells and runes and ancient creepy texts and things like that.
Yeah. Granted, in the books, her powers are very weird.
Wanda?
So, like some other mutants, like mutants that, I don't know, like create fire or regenerate faster or have wings or have different kind of, different color hair, fur. Yeah. But there's some mutants like her, like Aurora Storm. She controls the weather. It's like, how you control the weather? But that's just something in your body that controls the weather? Because even if your body makes fire, it's different than you control the external. And Wanda is like, she controls reality, and it's even Apocalypse, one of the biggest Marvel mutants. He controls his atomic mass, his atomic... he controls his body to the point he can go gigantic, can go small, he can be strong, he can be... Anyways, but those characters, they control the exterior in a very huge way, which is very complex, if not... Yeah.
You can't overthink the science of it, because it doesn't.
Yeah, and some of them are definitely... And hers was always like... She would like do something and control probably. It's like, I don't know, maybe Domino has something like that too. Yeah. Anyways, so WandaVision, it's on Disney Plus, and it was a fun watch. It's definitely one. I mean, like Lost. It's like you have to watch week by week because the anticipation between the week is part of the fun, especially when you're waiting for so much. In this case, disappointing because it doesn't come, but still it's fun, and yeah, there's more Marvel to come, but this is what we have now. WandaVision, Disney Plus.
Okay. The Golden Globes were this week. It was weird.
Yeah, it was.
They did the best
weird.
they could.
They did a multi location, and for me it was like weird, like a lot of things that not a lot of people even talking about. For me it was weird as it's like they have the comedian there, and they have audiences, and it was like you didn't have audiences. It's like they keep the stars at home, and they have like a random audiences with
masks and like socially distanced at their little tables
with nobodies. And for me, I mean nobodies but Keenan and Maya. But I mean it was like, why? It's like you don't need to. It was like NBA didn't have audiences, and NFL didn't have audiences for a while. It's like just to put this thing to pretend that it's like, yeah, I mean, if you're gonna keep the stars at home, and it's like, yeah. So the party was messy. The numbers were bad.
It was something like they lost 2/3 of their.
They lost
viewers?
2/3 compared to last year. Yeah, it was like,
Which, I guess that makes sense. I mean, part of the fun of an award show is seeing like all the stars together and like the dresses and the red carpet, and when you lose that,
and also the excitement in general was not only because of COVID and how things are today and this past year, the movies there was nothing like super exciting to like,
There were a couple nominations I was excited about.
Yeah, like what?
Well, like Mandalorian getting a nomination.
Yeah, sure. What else?
Okay, that was...
There you go. That's my point.
I will say most of the people who won awards, I felt really deserved them.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying.
We haven't seen a lot of.
I'm not saying they didn't deserve. I'm saying that it was not a year to be remembered for all the years to come. Like when Lord of the Rings like took everything, or Titanic. And I'm not even a big Titanic fan, but like some movies that come and like move, and even the movies that are competing with those big movies are like really great contenders.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, but so what like some of the winners that catch your attention?
Well, The Crown came off very well.
Crown, yes.
Let's see, Emma Corrin won.
So Diana.
Yeah,
beat
Diana.
The Queen.
Yes. Josh O'Connor as Charles.
Yeah.
Won for the same category. Anya Taylor-Joy won. Queen's Gambit won some awards. Jason Sudeikis won. That was an unexpected one. Jason Sudeikis won for, what is it, Ted Lasso?
Yes.
He was wearing a sweatshirt, which I thought was great and really fit the whole thing. Like, how does Jason Sudeikis in what should have been a dumb comedy win a Golden Globe for a performance that like had me crying at one point? Like, anyway, that was I think a well-deserved and surprising win.
Yeah.
So The Crown took away a bunch. Chadwick Boseman won posthumously for Ma Rainey's. Anyway, so there were a few wins that were.
Rosamund Pike won for I Care a Lot. Like no surprise, because she's a monster. And I don't know if you say that in English, but in Portuguese, it's like when you are, the best at what you do, or one of the greats, they call you like a holy monster.
Oh, we don't say that in English, but that's great.
I don't know where that came from, but yeah, is that so? But she's a monster. When I mean monsters, like in both meanings, because she's awful character, but she's a terrific actress.
Yeah, Gillian Anderson is the other one who won for The Crown.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What's a bucket?
Margaret Thatcher.
Yeah, the Iron Lady.
The Iron Lady. Yeah.
Not the Iron Chef. The Iron Lady.
Correct.
Yeah.
Not an Iron Maiden either. There's lots of iron. Anyway, as it's part of our new normal, teleconference type glitches were a part of the Golden Globe ceremony.
Which is funny because it shouldn't be new. We've been doing this like for, I don't know,
a year.
Decade. No, I mean the whole teleconference technology is not new.
That's true.
But if anything, there was like some odd moments because they decided to have two hosts, one on the East Coast and one on the West Coast, and there was like some odd moments that they would look at the screens at each other, or they were looking to Skype to whoever. Some of the people.
Yeah, so some of like the coordinating and the cues got a little.
And then you would see like Amy Poehler. I remember several instances. She was looking at the camera to the screen, talking to the guests, actors, celebrities, whatever. And then she would like look to the side and see. So what I do now? It was like.
It was a little rough.
Yeah.
It was a little rough.
And like glitches and cuts and stuff like that, and
Yeah, but they did it, and it seemed like everybody had a good time.
Yeah. But biggest winners are Chicago 7 and Aaron Sorkin won. I mean, his writing winning is not news.
Yeah.
What else? Nomadland and Chloe Zhao won best drama.
Best director and best drama. Yeah.
And animation, and for that we have a special guest. Come here, Andy. Come. Okay, sit here.
Come here.
Come on me. Okay, so this is Andy.
She's our guest correspondent.
How old are you, Andy?
4.
She's 4. You talk to the camera. Okay, Andy watched a lot of animations, and did you watch Soul?
Wait a second.
Soul? Did you remember Soul?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you like Soul?
Yeah.
Okay. So Soul won the best animation, Disney Pixar.
It went for music too, right?
Did you win for music?
I think so.
Okay, sure.
I'll double check.
I don't remember that. But yeah, so this is Andy. Andy's gonna say goodbye now. Say goodbye to the camera. Say goodbye.
Bye.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andy. Okay, so that's what we have for the Golden Globes.
Yes. All right.
Let's check our news.
Okay, so Golden Globes are what has been. Let's look at what's coming. There are some fun rumors coming from Lucasfilm.
Yes.
About one of the announced series, Andor.
Yeah.
And those rumors are...
They're shooting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if this rumor is true, it's probably already happening. There's rumors that the Grand Jedi Master George Lucas will be writing, directing a couple episodes.
That's pretty cool. He hasn't been involved. Like...
No, he was involved in The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Filoni and Favreau brought him to the set. He
sure, but I mean like credits wise, actually writing or directing.
Oh yeah, not writing like hands-on writing, but he was there and
Sure.
They consulted him big time, even though it wasn't credit, because if it comes down to credits, he needs to get paid, and Disney doesn't want to pay Josh Lucas.
$4 billion was enough.
Yeah. Oh, it was such a bargain.
But also coming from Star Wars at Disney Plus, Indira Varma has joined the Obi-Wan cast. Fans will know her from Game of Thrones. She was the Sand. Pedro Pascal's
Sand Snake's
lover.
mother.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I could see her being someone on Tatooine. I would really love her, though, to be part of the flashbacks and maybe be Satine. I could see that.
The first thing I thought it was Satine.
Satine, yeah.
But she's a little bit older to be Satine when Satine dies, when Satine was alive. But I don't know, it could be done.
It could be. She would very naturally fit into that.
Except that Satine has red hair, but...
Well, that's an easy fix.
And
Do we see her hair? She's always got these elaborate headdresses.
No, I think she has head hair.
Yeah. Head hair.
Obi-Wan is wise. He would find that hair. And also she's Bo-Katan's sister, right?
Oh, yeah.
So...
Okay, maybe.
I don't know. Maybe it would be some different character.
Yeah. But either way, that's fun, and I'm just excited that this series is happening.
Filoni and Favreau are not involved on this other show. It might be slightly involved, but it's it's not their baby, it's someone else's. So it might not be as connected to Clone Wars, to Rebels, to us. The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
So we might not see flashback to characters we met on those other shows. We might see new characters, new flashbacks, retcons, kind of. Anyways, yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything else for Star Wars?
There was a soft rumor that since Gina Carano, since Disney lost Gina Carano, they would have the show that was supposed to be for Cara Dune would be for Hera Syndulla. But I don't see how would that be, since they said the show would be Rangers of the New Republic and Hera is a general, so yeah. Maybe it's just a rumor.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Eventually. Okay, something else we'll be seeing more of is The Simpsons. It got renewed for 2 more seasons at Fox.
Yes, going on forever as it should.
Yes.
So far, so good. Yeah. I mean, there's some good episodes and some
Sure.
But it still works.
It's kind of like a full-on institution now.
Yeah. I would say if you want to end it at 40 or 50. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Agreed.
Don't end at 32, 34, whatever is coming. Yeah.
All right, let's go over to DC. Superman and Lois is doing well.
Superman and Lois was renewed right after the first episode. The show was good and it was popular. It had like great viewership. So it was the most viewed streamed premiere to date at CW, and yeah.
However, they did have to suspend production at one point due to COVID. So, is Supergirl taking over that time slot, or how's that working?
Yes, that's so they're gonna put Supergirl Tuesdays with the Flash. Yeah, that's Tuesdays with the Flash. Tuesdays nights. What did I say?
Tuesday nights.
But I'm saying Tuesday, it's plural.
No, the nights
Every
is
Tuesday.
the plural.
Tuesdays nights.
Tuesday nights.
Okay, that's what I said.
Together.
Tuesdays nights. And until the end, starting on the end of March, until the end of Supergirl run, which is the last season.
Yeah.
And then Superman will come back.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be nice. Keeping it all in the family. Okay, Star Trek is Paramount is just very, very busy, and so is J.J. Abrams. So they've got Kalinda Vasquez to come write a new Star Trek film that J.J. Abrams will be producing through Bad Robot.
Yes, so continuing the production that started with the new reboot Star Trek, so yeah.
Yeah. He's very busy. He's working on Superman, he's working on this.
Yeah.
I feel like there's other stuff. An HBO series.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of Stephen King stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, Hugh Grant is apparently committed to the dark side now.
Yeah. I mean, as he always was.
Well, I guess to me it's weird because my first exposure to Hugh Grant was like as the lovable, goofy leading man in chick flicks like Notting Hill or Sense and Sensibility, Love Actually, things like that, where he's just sort of like adorable and cute and all that. But now he's a murderer. Anyway,
I remember he fell from grace on when he was caught with a prostitute in Los
but that was
Angeles.
after all the cute
And he was
chick flicks.
And he was dating what's her bucket? Elizabeth Hurley. And it's like the girl was it's one of those Tom Brady Schwarzenegger things, because I think it's Elizabeth Hurley and she was like beyond pretty. She was beyond gorgeous, and then he was with this like cheap skank in LA, you know, like Tom Brady was with the the babysitter when he's married to Giselle. And Schwarzenegger had something with the maid or something like that. Anyways, so yeah, it's like I remember years ago when that happened. So he was always like, and then those movies, but his image was staying. But he was able to overcome that. It was before cancel culture, and he did a couple of things. He was really good on what was that movie?
Undoing?
No, the movie. The Man from U.N.C.L.E. And he was also on this Guy Ritchie last one. What was it called? The Gentleman.
Yes, The Gentleman.
Yeah. And on The Undoing, he was like.
Yeah.
He was kind of like, you know, I was like, hey, why I didn't see that coming, because it's so great. And I mean, she didn't, because people still seems like, oh, the British Hugh Grant, he's the Prime Minister.
Adorable in Sense and Sensibility.
I didn't.
And it's just really hard to let go of. That was also the first time I saw Alan Rickman. So like for me, like those two will always be like, Anyway.
So he's gonna be the villain on Dungeons and Dragons. They also has Chris Pine. We don't know what it's gonna be, but there's big cast, so hopefully you're gonna do something good.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Maybe a beginning of a franchise. That's us.
I would not be mad about that.
Yeah.
Alright, poor Dr. Seuss was born at the wrong time and wrote and illustrated a bunch of things that are now, let's say, outdated. Like, I think it's fair to say that they're really outdated and probably offensive. And his company, his trust, has decided to stop publishing 6 of his books, which, to be fair, are not even very popular books. Like, I'd only even heard of one of them, and I taught elementary school. So
I don't know. I don't like it. I think it's if you start, I mean, the whole thing is stupid. It's like, oh, let's destroy this statue. You know, it's like burning the past. Burning, if you forget your past, you're doomed to repeat it. You know, if you do crap in the past. So we should have access to these things and disclaimers. You know, and actually it was his daughter that came out against it and say that if you want to disclaim it, it's like, oh, back in the day this happened. But like, just why wash it, is that what I call the past? Like, the past never existed and you erase it. I think it's stupid, because if you forget what was the past, you might do it in the future again.
Sure,
and this happened. This whole cancel culture thing is like what Karana said. Is like, you know, it's like witch hunt or Nazi German, and people are doing it again because maybe you didn't study or read the past as you should. It's like, hey, we doing something wrong that was done before, you know.
I feel like a much more apt comparison would be McCarthyism, and especially in Hollywood, and the way
get out of here. Okay, and that was Andy again.
I think a much more apt comparison would be McCarthyism and the whole Red Scare, and especially the way people got blacklisted.
Yeah.
In Hollywood because they had the wrong books or had the wrong friends or things like that, and I feel like that's kind of what's starting to happen. People say the wrong thing or read the wrong book, and granted, some of it might be like super offensive, but then people are just getting blacklisted.
Yeah,
because of it.
And it's like the irony of the McCarthyism in the witch hunt they did is like, the irony is like the people that the side of the political, philosophical spectrum
switched.
There was hunted, now it's the one hunting.
Yes.
It was hunted then, it's hunting now. It was like the irony.
And
or
there's
maybe
so
it's
many
revenge,
double standards. Well, it's not like it's the same. It's different generations. But like the double standards, it's so, like, I mean, Kevin Hart tweeted rude things, 10, 15 years ago and lost a job hosting the Oscars. But...
And he's a comedian, you can't make a joke.
Well, like... Yeah, but I was looking around Amazon.
What?
You can order Mein Kampf. Several different editions.
Yeah.
Or like we've been watching this Woody Allen documentary on HBO. Like it just seemed like why are people like Kevin Hart said something stupid 15 years ago, or Gina Carano pushed a couple buttons and didn't toe the line. But then Woody Allen like assaults kids.
Yeah.
And makes movies about how it's okay. And he's still like beloved and celebrated. It doesn't. If you're gonna anyway, it doesn't make sense.
It's double standard.
It doesn't make sense to me. If you're gonna cancel one person.
Yeah, I mean, I would say cancel who legitimately are bad and needs to be canceled. Someone was comparing, like, just getting political now. Someone was this Chris Cuomo, the governor of New York, is Andrew Cuomo, the governor of New York. There's like a lot of sexual harassment, sexual assaults, allegations coming against him. And nothing is happening. He says he's not gonna resign. He everything is fine. He's getting the support from people. And some people said that. So some people comparing to Trump. And Trump has all the issues he has. And he said something about grabbing, what. But they comparing what Cuomo did to what Trump said.
To be fair, 26 women have come forward with allegations.
But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the comparison, the argument that people say. It's like what people did and what people said. It's like completely different, Yeah. Anyways,
To be clear, what he said was horrific and horrifying.
it was, but it's
terrible.
It's still not doing it.
That's true.
And the argument was like, oh, we're not gonna punish this guy because that guy said something. If you compare to what he did, sure, fine, did equal, but did and said that's completely different. Anyway, so Dr. Seuss, it's a French.
It's Seuss. It's a pseudonym actually.
Yeah.
Theodore Geisel is his real name.
Okay, so it's been cancelled, but it's actually doing the opposite effect because people are going to masses and mobs to buy his books wherever they can. Amazon is getting like big numbers of sales.
Yeah, and I don't know that there's a lot of people who want to cancel himself. I mean, there's probably a few, but I think for the most part, people are willing to hold on to the really good, the timeless stuff that he wrote, and maybe just say we're done with those.
Yeah, but that's the thing about timeless is like it's getting to a point that it's not being timeless anymore. Tomorrow they might see that Cat in the Hat is prejudicial against.
Oh
cats.
yeah, no, the Cat in the Hat is actually. We're not gonna go into it. We're not. We're just gonna move on. Let's talk about something happy.
Yeah, let's stop her before she kisses the cat.
I'm not gonna why?
Anyways. Yeah, let's keep our cats in our hats. And
Iceland.
Let's move on to Iceland.
And the Eurovision Song
has
Contest.
No place.
I loved that movie. I can never remember the title of the movie because it's so complicated.
Eurovision, the Ice and Fire Saga Contest.
Is the other one?
No, it's the Ice Saga.
It's like Eurovision Song Contest, the Saga of Ice and Fire.
Yes.
Ice and Fire. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever. Will Ferrell, Rachel McAdams.
Netflix.
So good, so fun. And now the town where it's based, their hometown is called Husavik, and they sing a whole song about it. It's like the great climax of the film is a song she sings at Eurovision about her hometown, Husavik, and how much she loves it. And so now that town is campaigning hard for a Best Song Oscar nomination.
Yes, and deserve it because it's like everybody wins, you know.
Yeah.
And if you want to go, since it's voting, if you want to go political for a cause, that's a great cause. They're suffering through COVID.
Something like 2/3 of this town's economy is based on tourism, which has just been annihilated by the pandemic. They could really use a win.
So Academy voters, which are voting right now, keep for your consideration Eurovision song,
yes,
to help a cause.
It's a great song. The James Bond movie doesn't get their song nominated. It doesn't. The James Bond song, I feel like they get nominated every time.
Is it
There's a new James Bond? Yeah, but this time
probably Disney. Yeah,
I would love to see this.
That would be awesome. That would be a good cause.
Also, I'm not making any threats here. I'm just saying we've seen what the elves do when things don't go well.
Yes.
I'm just putting that out there.
Academy members, watch out for little houses.
Yes.
Well. So there you have it. That's our news. That's what we have this week. We see you next week when we're gonna talk about, new movies, TV shows,
more news,
comics,
rumors,
pop culture,
fun stuff,
and more.
Live long and prosper.
May the force be with you.
Bye.
Bye.